Hey, Ultra Legal Warriors. In this video, I'm going to cover something very important, something that causes a lot of anxiety in people. Are you interested in what I'm going to talk about? It has to do with going to court. Stay tuned. This is the video for you. My name is Attorney Lance Fryrear. I'm a defense attorney in Linwood, Washington. My law firm's been defending people charged with crimes all throughout Washington state for more than 20 years, and I'm putting out these videos to help educate the public. So if you find this useful, please like and please subscribe. More people get the help they need. And I came up with the idea for this video because of the week I had. I had many clients who were physically having to go back to court, and they had anxiety about not knowing what to expect in court, not knowing where to go, not knowing who to ask, not knowing what to wear, these type of things. And us attorneys have been around for a long time, and I've been around for more than 30 years now doing this type of work. We just can sort of take it for granted that somebody will know what to do, and we sort of forget there's so much anxiety with going to court. So in this video, I'm going to cover number one, physical court, going to physical court, and then number two, which is still popular also, Zoom court or online court, WebEx, different types of things. So let's talk about going to court. If you're going to court, hopefully you have an attorney. If you have a public defender, they're already going to be at the court dealing with everybody. If you have a private attorney, you might get there first, or your attorney might get there first. It sort of depends on the schedule and what's going on with your private attorney. So let's start with the private attorney situation. Hopefully you're going to be told where to go and what time to get to the courthouse. And I'm in Washington State, and I think this advice applies for most courts in Washington State. When you go to court, you're going to have to go through a metal detector, right? So don't bring stuff to court that is a problem, right? Don't bring your gun to court. No, don't bring food or drink to court. Don't bring a knife or pepper spray to court, because those things are not going to get let in, and you might have to go all the way back to your car, or worse if it's something illegal. So you're going to make it through security. You're going to dress in a way that is respectable, right? Hopefully you're not going to wear shorts. You're not going to have a hat on. You're not going to have a sleeveless shirt. I always say, imagine taking mom or grandma out to Applebee's, okay? Normal dress. You don't need to be overdressed, but you also don't want to be looking like you're going to the beach either. So you're going to get through the metal detector. You're going to be dressed in a respectable way. And now you're going to, depending on the court, you're going to try to figure out which courtroom you're going to go to, right? If it's a tiny municipal court, there might only be one courtroom. If you're in Seattle, there's going to be 9 different courtrooms. If you're going to be somewhere like the Superior Courts in Snohomish County, really confusing, okay? But in almost all instances, after you get through security, you're going to be able to find either an electronic board, a television, or sometimes paper that lists each person's name alphabetically and then tells you what courtroom you're in. Okay, it's sort of like going to the airport, where you're looking up and you're seeing, which gate am I departing from. And you always want to check, because even if you've been told by your attorney or somebody, or on your notice which courtroom to go to, it changes all the time. Okay, and if you get, a lot of these courts have these reader boards that cycle through names, so pay close attention. You may look up and see my name's not even there. Well, there's only so many TVs and there's way more defendants than fit on the screen, so they're going to cycle them through. It might take 5 minutes, okay, for your name to come up. And you'll see us attorneys doing the same thing. We're going to be sitting there waiting. It's like, what's the name and which court? Okay, so you're going to find that reader board or the paperwork to tell you where to go to court. Now what? Well, now you're going to head to the courtroom, and you're going to see if it's locked or unlocked. It's probably locked if you're there early. If you're anxious, you're there early, it may be locked, or there may be a calendar going on in front of you. In any case, pay attention, right? Look around. Don't talk about your case to people. Your prosecutor might be waiting to get in too, right? And so you don't want to say things, because people are always evaluating us, right? They're always judging us. So if you are at a place where there's a prior calendar of the courtroom going on, usually you're free to go in. There's some acceptance in juvenile court, but you're free to go in and watch and listen, because court is open to the public. I don't want my clients doing anything that's going to increase their stress. So you decide what makes you more stressed. Knowing how it works may make you less stressed. So go in and watch. Seeing this stressful situation may raise your anxiety. So don't do that thing, right? Do what's right for you. But basically, you're going to go to the right place. And now, if you have a private attorney, you're going to be looking for your private attorney, right? Hopefully, your attorney's got a texting system. Hey, you can text them, I just got to court, or hey, it's this courtroom. Maybe you've seen them before. Maybe it's an associate going, you don't know what they look like. So find your attorney and then follow their instructions. But what don't we need to do? We don't typically need to check in, believe it or not. There are some exceptions where they want you to check in. So pay attention, look what other people are doing. But usually we don't have to check in. Usually your attorney is going to do that for you. Or if there's a public defender, they're usually going to call a list of all their clients, and then you'll say, yeah, that's me. You've never met me probably, but here I am. And then they're going to handle the rest from there. So let's say you do have a public defender. Again, you're going to get there and you're going to look for the person with all the files, because you probably never met your public defender. You didn't choose them, right? You didn't go to their office and say, I choose you. You guys didn't choose each other. So you look for the person with all the files. You can ask anyone that looks official, hey, are you the public defender? Do you know where the public defender is? And then, be careful. Don't talk about your case to the prosecutor, because they're also going to have a lot of files typically. But find your public defender, check in with your public defender, then follow their instructions. So what's another thing you don't have to worry about at court? You typically don't need to show your ID. It's crazy. There's no identification in court. You can plead guilty to a non-felony. They'll never check your ID once. Okay, we gotta have ID for everything, but we don't need it for court for some reason. And you're also likely not going to have to talk to anyone about your case, in the court. Don't be too anxious. No one's going to really ask you details about what happened. If you're at a sentencing or something, your attorney will have prepped you for what to say or not say. But basically, you're there as sort of to be the person that is charged, and stand next to your attorney and let the attorney do the talking for you, right? The attorney is going to do the talking for you, because anything you say in court can be used against you. So if you try to talk about the case, the judge is going to stop you. Your attorney might tackle you. It's not something that you want to do. So let's move on to Zoom court. Okay, that was in-person court. What about Zoom court, Lance, or online court? Well, typically you got to have the Zoom link ahead of time, right? And then there's going to be a lot of anxiety. You're going to log in. You might log in a few minutes early. You click the link, type in the code, all that. Name yourself the right thing. Make sure it's your name, and not, Big Daddy's iPad is not something that you want to be showing, right? So figure out ahead of time how to change your name on the platform you're using. You're going to log into it, then wait. It's going to be a while till they let you into the hearing, okay? And then if it's, 30 minutes and you're still not in, well, get a hold of your attorney, make sure you're in the right place. But once you do get let in, remember you are in court, virtual court, but court. You don't want to be eating. You don't want to be driving your car. Please don't be driving your car. You don't want to have a hat on. You don't want to be walking around. It's so, judges are people. You can't piss them off, okay? So someone who's not showing respect for the court by, hey, I'm walking around, and the background is making us all sick because you got your camera on, it's not going to help your case, okay? So keep your camera off and yourself muted unless you're instructed to do otherwise by the court. Follow the court's instructions, but almost always the court will say, have your name on there correctly, keep yourself muted and camera off until they call your case. And listen up, because there's going to be sometimes a helper, a court administrator, a court clerk who's going to be changing people's names for them and asking why you're there and stuff like that. And every court is different. So, but pay attention, because you are in court. And, I've seen some nightmares, right, in online court. And if you're online and your attorney's not next to you, right, we're not in the courthouse, I can't tackle you or put my hand on your shoulder or keep you from talking, right? So you got to be paying attention. I've had a situation where, someone thought they were muted, they weren't muted, and they're cussing out the judge, okay? The judge can hear that, then what do we do, okay? So just remember, it's a privilege to be able to be on Zoom, but it comes with risks as well. So I hope this has been useful. What have we learned? Court is not as scary as it seems if you know what to expect in advance. If you really are worried, go to court a week ahead of time, right? Call the court and find out, hey, when's the calendar similar to mine? I want to see how it works. When I was a new attorney, that's what I did, right? When I was a new defense attorney, I didn't know, 25 years ago how King County Superior Felony Court went. So what did I do? I just went days early and watched and asked questions, right? And you can do that too as a person in the system. So, take control of it. And I hope this has helped lower your anxiety some. So if you have a legal problem, feel free to reach out to my firm. We will do whatever we can to try to help. Listen to what happened, we'll identify a way forward, and we will be there for you. Thank you.